Hey guys, it's 10 Vivman here again, bringing you another battle. And this is a really awesome match I had with my friend Steven, and it was a great game. I'm using an all-UU team, and it's very similar to the team I used last time. The only differences are, instead of Archeops, I have Needle King, and it's a slightly different Sable I am using. This one's more inclined on special defense. And he's got a mainly OU team. This is actually a 350-0 win streak he had of this team. And the only thing I'm not used to seeing on that team is a Rotom fan, and I never see those. And the rest of this team is all very powerful members of OU. So let's see how this battle goes. It's bound to be good, so let's get this started. I'm going to lead off with my Empoleon here, just, to set up rocks or whatever. And he goes off and leads with his Volcarona, which I'm in a pretty good situation right here, just because, I'm a specially defensive tank, and he sets up first turn to Quiver Dance. And of course, I'm just going to be intelligent and set up my Stealth Rocks first turn, which is probably the best course of action at this point. Because everything, it's going to be damage nice. Everything could use some Stealth Rock support. So he goes for the Fiery Dance, and even though it's +1, it's stab, it's, only 80 base power, but even that does not even do half to my Empoleon, which is just awesome. You get another special attack increase, but I'm just going to roar him out, because I don't want him to boost up anymore. So, and this roar brings him out into his Rotom fan. And that takes some Stealth Rock damage, and I get some leftovers, and I usually see Rotoms as choice, so I make a prediction here. I just go and I'm obviously predicting electrical moves. So I go into my Needle King to block it. He goes for Thunder, and of course I don't take any damage, but I'm expecting him to switch out, but he actually goes for Air Slash, so he's probably maybe, I'm thinking maybe he's like Expert Belt or something, but I just go for my Sheer Force boosted Ice Beam, and that completely obliterates the Rotom. But to my surprise, this Rotom is actually holding a Roap Berry, which does damage to the attacker if you attack it with a special attack. So I think that berry's released, but it doesn't really matter if it is or isn't. It doesn't matter at all. So, but it was an interesting strategy. So, but he goes into his Gastrodon, which turns out to be a huge pain the entire game. I go into my Shaman predicting, maybe a Earth Power or Skull, but he does make a smart play to predicting a switch with Toxic. Of course, thanks to my Shaman's natural cure ability, doesn't really matter too much because he can just switch out to get rid of the Toxic. And he's using leftovers too, so I was just expected on most Gastrodons, and I just take some poison damage, and now of course I'm predicting a switch. I'm predicting him to anticipate my Seed Flare, so I predict him to go into his Ferrothorn, and I bring out my Needle King, and he switches out like I predicted, but he does not go into Ferrothorn. He goes back into his Volcarona, and I'm like, oh boy, this is bad, because he could have gone into either that or Ferrothorn, and if I wanted to, I could have gone for Leech Seed, but it wouldn't have affected Ferrothorn at all, so it was an iffy play, but he gets a free chance to set up or just kill up my Needle King, but I switch out to my Victini, and not wanting Needle King to die just yet, and I take that Fire Blast pretty well, and I'm anticipating to go back into his Gastrodon, but he doesn't switch, and this then Headbutt sadly does not kill, leaves it with a tiny sliver. And I'm wishing I V-created there anyway, but I didn't. And Bug Buzz puts me into a range where Entry Casters would easily kill me, and he gets a useless special defense drop. But he does not switch here either, and I just take out the Volcarona with Zen Headbutt. And it's smart he didn't switch, because Stealth Rocks would have taken him out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But Volcarona goes down, and he goes back out into his Gastrodon here, and he just wants to take me out, obviously, because Victini is such a huge threat in general, being Scarfed. And I go into my Shaman, of course, anticipating the stab move, and he goes for Skull this time. And I'm really hoping he doesn't get the burn here, but my Shaman apparently is a status magnet, so I do get burned, and but that's fine. And I decided not to play any games here, and I just go straight off for the Seed Flare, but he makes a good play, switches out into Dragonite. And, of course, it takes Stealth Rock damage, breaking his multi-scale immediately, but of course my Seed Flare is not going to do too much since it's quad-resisted. I'm hoping for maybe a special defense drop, don't get it, but that's fine, and it takes some Life Orb recoil. And what he's not aware about, my Shaman has the HP Ice, so that is a dead Dragonite, so that's huge, just a very large problematic Pokemon going down right then and there. So, down goes that, and I see a hair on my screen. There we go. And now he goes into his scissor. I'm not sure what kind of scissor this is, and I just switch out. I don't want to. I'm probably anticipating the bullet punch, so I go into my Empoleon to take that, because even if he's banded, I know I can take that pretty well. And because I pretty much quad resist, I think steel resists steel, so I take that pretty well. And now I know he's going to want it to switch out into his Gastrodon here, just because he's probably anticipating me to use Skull to try to burn it. So I make a very intelligent play, and I just roar him right back out. Just so and then unfortunately again I bring him right back to his Scizor, and I'm probably predicting, because I probably figure he's banded. He probably has superpower, so I don't want to stay in. So I try to switch out, and he pulls to Pursuit on me, and I'm like, why would you pursue it? It's not going to do much. And then, oh my god, it does a hell of a ton of damage. I really did not see that, just because I resist the attack, but it does a lot more than I anticipated. No, that's okay. Just go into my Sableye, and I'm hoping to burn. I know he's going to switch. I'm just hoping to burn with Will-O-Wisp, whatever switches in. Goes into his Gastrodon. I prefer Toxic on it, but there's not much I can do about it. I wanted to burn it, so go for Will-O-Wisp, but unfortunately I miss. So, could have used it residual damage, but that's okay. And I just switch out. I don't want to do anything stupid, but I pretty much just leaving Empoleon here as death fodder. Empoleon is not very useful at this point of the game. It's low on HP. It's not going to restore its HP anytime soon. So I just decided to leave Empoleon here for death fodder, and down it goes. So I don't know what the score is at the top of my head, but I now go into my Shaman, of course. I was just trying to threaten it out, unless he wants to eat it, eat a Seed Flare. So this time, since I know his other Pokemon, Dragonite and Volcarona, are down, I know he's going to switch out into his Ferrothorn this time. I do not want that to set up a Stealth Rocks. So I predict that and go into Nidoking, and beautifully. And I'm guessing he expects me to overprotect again after he gets some leftovers recovery. But I just go I just go straight up for the Flamethrower. He probably expected me to overprotect, maybe to switch again, but nope, I want this Ferrothorn dead. Dead. So down it goes. It's not going to take a Life Orb, Sheer Force boosted, modest Flamethrower. So down goes that, and out comes his Scizor. And I'm anticipating a Bullet Punch. Maybe he's going to overprotect a U-turn or something, but he actually he has Quick Attack. And that I did not see coming. That shows me he does not have superpower. He's probably running U-turn or Bug Bite, Bullet Punch, Quick Attack, and Pursuit. So Nidoking goes down to that, but now it gives me a free opportunity to go into my Sableye. And, of course, his Quick Attack can't touch me, so I'm now having a chance to either burn this or his Gastrodon, and Gastrodon now gets burned. His Will-O-Wisp hits, and Gastrodon and Scizor are his last two Pokemon. So I'm in a semi-comfortable position because I know that my other two Pokemon, which are rather weak, Victini and Shaman, which are both low on health, I don't want them to get killed by Stealth Rocks. So, but moving on to this point, I just taunt him. I don't want him to set up anything. I don't want him to recover. I don't want him to Toxic me. Get Sableye, of course, being the defensive beam off that it is, and of course Sableye pulling all its shenanigans. It's Will-O-Wisping and taunting and all its other fun. So, he goes back into a Scizor, and I use Nightshade, and my mom is right next to me. I don't know what she wants. She's interrupting my narration. What?
There's a phone call downstairs about Death Buys. Something in your account has changed.
I'll go down in a minute, but
I just wanted to know that.
And yeah, I don't know where I was, but I think he bullet punched me when I was at full health, and it brought me down to a really low range, but I'm able to take him out with a Nightshade. So he goes into Gastrodon, and that's his last. So I know he's gonna try to finish me off with either Earth Power or Scald. So but I just take this opportunity to recover, and he hits me with a Stab Earth Power, hoping that maybe it will take me out. But he's probably a defensive build, so I don't expect it to kill. It puts me about in the same range where I was before, so that's perfectly fine. So I know I'm gonna die here, so I just decide to give him a little present before I die, and just taunt him so he can't Toxic anything, or he can't recover. But he surprises me, and he actually tries to recover this turn, so gives me an extra opportunity to attack him, or just recover more damage. But I decide I just want some damage on this. That's okay if Sableye dies. And so I just hit him with my Nightshade to 100 fixed damage, and he's going to take me out of a Scald. So I now have only 3 Pokemon left. I have my 2 weakened Pixies, my Shaman, and Victini, and I also have a full health Hitmontop left. I have not used that the entire game, so I've had no need to, being my Rapid Spin or any essence of any hazards, because I just refused to let him. So I go into my Shaman, and luckily my Seed Flare hits, and that is a dead Gastrodon. So it was a really, really fun match. I mean, this is against my friend Steven. We always have good games and stuff, and it was a great game. So then it turned out to be a 3-0, but it was an overall great game. So sorry for the interruption. I told my mom I was going to record, but she decided to interrupt me anyway. But that's okay. Like, comment, and sub, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So later, guys. Bye.